Hi, my name is George Nichols. I am with Lillys Cantina, a food truck and catering company here in Columbia, Missouri. I've been asked by a lot of people to share my Pico de Gallo recipe, how I do Pico de Gallo. It's just a little pour. And basically, what you do, I don't know if you can see, we basically just scoop the inside out and twist the tomato, and out comes the core of the tomato. Flip that in the trash can, and I'll roll all these tomatoes up. So basically, you know, when you're good, I don't know how good I am, but basically, you know, so now we're gonna cut a tomato. There again, sharp knife. I love sharp knives. I don't want to mash the tomato, I want to cut the tomato. So basically, I have a Santuco here that I can use, I like to use. I also have a really good chef's knife here that I like to use. But a lot of people, I'll tell you what, fillet knife on a Roma tomato for pico, you see how thin that is, the profile of that blade? And it's super sharp. Onto the tomato. Then I turn it 45 degrees and I'll cut it the other way. Then what I do is cut it vertically the other way. Like that. Voila. Next tomato. So basically I go to about quarter inch intervals on the tomato itself, right on down. I try not to go all the way through to the bottom. Then I'll turn it and go the other way. Lay it on its side, dice them up. Then we move to the onions. Basically how I cut these onions is I cut both ends off the onions and peel them into my trash can. I can't emphasize the importance of having the trash can close to where you're working, because then we don't have a lot of cleanup. I hate cleanup. I'm supposed to be making a claw. That keeps your fingertips out of the way. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube that you want to watch besides me on the correct procedure on cutting period. I don't cut my fingers, but I really don't want people learning from me how to cut, because I would hate to be the one that, you know, that food truck guy told me how to do it. Now look, I got no fingers. You know, I don't want that. I don't need it. I don't need the heat. All right, next step is going to be the cilantro. Basically what I like to do with the cilantro is, you can see all these stems. I like to go bye-bye stems. Look at that, see that? All gone, trash can. Now what I like to do is I like to take the flowers, you know, like the bouquet of flowers right here, and I like to double them over like this. There's a stem that I missed. Then I'm going to make my claw over the top. And now I'm just going to cut just like so. that? I still have, see the stems there? I still have some stems I like to get rid of. I like my cilantro clean. And what I mean by clean, not a lot of stems, very fresh, no black in it whatsoever, and a pretty fine dice on those. So then what I'll do is I'll go back the other way and just give it a really good dice. Like so. Voila. Serranos. Okay. Serranos is one of those things you need to pay attention. Serranos are hot. Hot. We do not like to mess with these. I don't know how. I've watched my wonderful wife that I love. I've watched her in the kitchen and just start crying because she's pepper sprayed herself, and she hates me. She hates the dog. Hates Lily. You cannot mess around with the serranos. The serranos are ghost pepper. Lillys Cantina, we like to use a lot of Carolina Reapers, ghost peppers, jalapenos, and they're lightweight compared to what we like to use. But the underlying fact of the matter is they're hot. They have spice. They burn your mouth and your tongue and your eyes and your hands. So what I like to do is just be careful with them. What I mean by that, just cut the top. Cut the top. And then I'll put them here. I like to leave the seeds. You can pull this. You can remove the seeds if you like, but I like the seeds. I like the heat. My claw, there again. And I'm just going to come down here. I'm going to dice these serranos really fine. And what I'll do, another thing that's really handy, I don't have here, is one of those, I call it the lawnmower. It's a little pull food processor. Gets them really, really fine. But this works for the amount that we're doing. You know, for what we normally use, we use a food processor and mince them up really, really fine and good. And wow, I can feel that heat right now. I can feel it in my eyes. So we take the green gold and we put it right in there. The whole secret to Pico de Gallo, in my opinion, is ratio. What I like to do is basically, it's very simple like this. Tomatoes, whatever your tomatoes are, I'm just going into a clear container to show you. Right there. I've got like 1.5 inches on the bottom. So now what I want to do is I want to take exactly 1 inch, 1.5 inches. I like going half and half. Half tomato, a little less than half of onion. And I'll kind of look at that. You know what I'm saying? A little more onion. That's okay. Like I said, it's really hard to mess this up. Then what I like to do is take a little bit of red onion. About half as much as the yellow onion. Cilantro. 1 bunch in. Serrano peppers in. Now this is where it gets really tricky, and really this is what, in my opinion, makes the Pico de Gallo. Okay, Now this is really important. Last thing I'm going to put in, you can't forget, is just a little salt. That's enough. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but the way that you mix this, in my opinion, you want to lay the spatula at a 45-degree angle, like this. And you want to raise the bowl to a 45-degree angle. And basically, all we're going to do is fold all these ingredients in. As I'm spinning this bowl, you see what I'm doing? I'm mixing up this pico. Like this. Mixing and mixing. It's basically like a little cement mixer. Cleaning the sides down. Like this. Now, as you can see, that pico is coming to life. Look at that. Now, one of the last steps that I'll do, el limon, lime. So basically what I'm doing on a batch this size right here, on a batch this size, I'm taking that lime, cutting it in half, taking my lime, giving it a little lime, trash, lime. That's it. Pico done. So here it is. Really, there's really not a lot to it. The ratio, in my opinion, is what's important. I put it on everything. I put it on eggs. I put it on bacon. I put it on tortillas, tacos, burritos. I put it on everything. It's really good. You should try it if you haven't yet. Thanks for watching.